Jeddah, Melbourne, Baku, Miami. 4 of the first 5 F1 races this season are on street circuits or tracks that claim to be street circuits. Yeah, in Monaco, it's 5 for the first 7. Sur Villeneuve, it's 6 from the first 9. Then we look later in the season, and whilst we've got a whole spate of the older style purpose-built stuff, I mean, ironically, Spa, of course, was converted into being purpose-built. You then have Marina Bay, and you have Las Vegas, which means that 8 of the 23 rounds this season are street tracks, just over a quarter. Now the question is that enough? Is that too many? And should we be having a target for those kinds of things? Now other series have these debates in a different way. In NASCAR they have a debate about the amount of road courses that they visit. I mean, that's been pretty cool to see, the increase of it. I mean, heck, they do dirt ovals again. They're doing that for the 3rd consecutive season now with Bristol Dirt. IndyCar's having that debate about the amount of ovals it has in the calendar. It currently has, 4 races at 3 ovals? One of them being a double header this year at Iowa. But we don't really talk about purpose-built and street circuits as arguments within our areas of motorsport. I mean, for me, I would always argue that Formula E should be on street circuits where it can be. I think if they want to establish themselves with more purpose-built tracks, I mean, you've got Puebla, you've got Ricardo Tormo, which have both hosted races before and could definitely host races again. As well as places where they'd done testing for Formula E, for example, Donington Park. Way back. But with F1, it's a thing of quality and quantity, but quality and quantity is a thing to do with the F1 calendar itself. I don't think that we need to have a 23 race calendar, and don't know many people who do. Let's be honest, we can't judge the Vegas one yet. I think that's going to be interesting, especially because it's a Saturday night race. I have a feeling that that's going to impact the viewing figures, actually, it being a Saturday night race. Especially because it's not only the only one on the calendar, but one of the first ones for F1, right? But you look at the rest of these. Marina Bay is good. Sur Villeneuve, people don't think of that as a street circuit. It's more of a purpose-built, but it's a classic. Now, Monaco, obviously crown jewel classic, whether or not we have those debates over F1. Well, going there all the time. Albert Park, historical season opener. I love Albert Park. I think Baku is one of those modern fan favourites. It's really tricky, and one of the best bits about Baku is it uses all those roads and streets, and so the old town stuff, like the castle section, people love it, even if they hate it for the pile-ups that it naturally causes. Which I guess means that we leave 2 more to talk about. One is Miami, and the other one's Jeddah. And I feel like they both fall for the same problem. Because one of the things you'll see with Vegas, even if Vegas ends up being a bit more like a Miami or a Jeddah, is it's still going to use the roads in Las Vegas. And it's still going to use the same kind of tarmac you would in the road. Whereas, well, the other 2, it's resurfacing. It's building bits and pieces to make the track more difficult. And where they could obviously make them purpose-built racetracks, the kind of complexity they want in there, the kind of danger and risk they want in there, they make them into these designated street circuits. Now, all I'm going to say is Spa was able to conform by Grade 1 standards, but it was a half and half. I mean, that was with the old bus stop. It was able to conform by the kind of standards you needed to host an F1 race. That had risk, that had danger, but it was also wonderful. Whereas I think with these ones, they're like, oh, we could put this in here and have this kind of route going around. With Miami, it's, oh, look at this, we've got the stadium. They don't actually race through the stadium. That'd be something that would be really cool if they did that. I mean, ELC's doing it, aren't they? And WRC's done it tons of times before. But, yeah. Those are my thoughts, at least. I think those two tracks, if we were to lose from the calendar, I mean, it'd be a shame for the fans of those areas, but, I mean, there's another street circuit in America now anyways. And for Saudi, I just want to see that Qadiyah track built. Even if we are outside of the kind of debate over Saudi Arabia, who's the race, sports wash and all of that. Jeddah was meant to be a 1 year thing in 2021. And then for 22 we're meant to be in Qadiyah. Now it's looking like Jeddah's going to be the foreseeable future. Like the next 2 or 3 seasons. Which is a massive shame. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.